In this video, we're going to discuss applying the ETS EuroFX Trader to your 6E chart. We'll go through the settings, we'll create an ATM strategy, and cover all the basics. At this point, you should already have the ETS EuroFX Trader installed. In a later video, we'll do some actual trades, and we'll show you exactly how we trade the 6E. So let's begin. I've already got a 6E chart opened up. And you'll see I've got candlesticks, but it doesn't matter. If you like to use open, high, low, close, that's fine. If you like candles, that's fine. Whatever you like is fine. So let's go ahead and apply the strategy to our chart by right-clicking, left-clicking on strategies, and all the strategies you may have installed on your PC will be listed here. I'm going to select ETS EuroFX Trader version 1, click New, and these are all the different parameters, all the different settings that we have. But let me apply it to a chart first and just give you a quick overview. Let me click OK here. And you'll see we've got a few buttons here. Strategy on, entry on, cancel, close. This is the ATM and it's going to look for. We're going to talk about that here in depth here in just a few moments. And these are some actual trades. Now, I'm on market replay. Today's Saturday, March 29th, 2014. And the next video where we do some actual trading, we'll take yesterday's data, Fridays. I like to show you current data, so of course I have downloaded it on market replay, so it stopped, and just wanted to point that out so you understood why there's no market action. But these were some trades that were pre-market. But let's go ahead and start drilling in a little bit more into the actual different parameters that we have. So let me right click again, go into strategies, select it, and the first thing you'll notice is everything is grayed out. We cannot make any changes, and that's because it's applied and active to your chart. It's enabled. So if you want to make any changes, you have to first disable it and then click apply, and then we'll have full access, and we'll do that in just a moment. But let's go up here to the first section, and we'll look at PL1 is alerts on, and that's set for false. We'll probably turn that on, and by setting that to true, you'll turn on these two, P2 and P3, and when there's a long trade, it'll pick up that file, and there's a short trade, it'll pick up this file. If you have your own audio clips that you would like to use and you're familiar with changing it, you're free. Go ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong with that. We just put them in here as a convenience for you. The back coloring on or off, that's this back coloring back here. It shows you when there's trades. Green is for long, red is for short, and this is the transparency of the shading. Completely customizable, but let's go ahead and do that. Let's take this to false, disable the strategy, click apply. Now it's gone, and when you'll see the small d, that means it's disabled. So we'll go up here and let's change this set to true, and I'll keep the back coloring on. Now trade time, all right. The 6E opens at 8:20 Eastern time, and that's about the time we start trading it. But you're free to trade it whatever time you want. This is where you'd make those changes. And remember, we have to plug in something. We just can't put zeros. We got to have a time in there. So we did the opening hour, or the opening time, 12 o'clock, and then 12:15 as the exit time. And what that means is this: at 8:20, it'll start trading. At 12 o'clock, it will stop trading. But if there's any open positions at 12:15, it will flatten them all out. All right. Now, if you're on the West Coast, obviously you have to change these to your correct time. So in this case, it would be 5:20:00. So you could tab your next time and change that the 3 hour difference. But I'm going to go ahead and change it back 08:20:00, and we're good. The button strategy. All right, if you look down here, you'll get a description of what every parameter is. Enables automated control of entries, order modifications, and exits. That's what those buttons are for. All right. Now the big takeaway here is the ATM name. Okay. Trade management is all saved locally on your PC through an ATM, which we're going to create. Okay. The strategy is going to look for an ATM that's named whichever listed here, and you'll see we've got ETS EuroFX1. It's case sensitive, so if you put in Dave's strategy, it's going to look for Dave's strategy, whatever you put in here. Now, to make it easy, when you're making your ATM, you can just simply call it ETS capital E and then euro, capital F, capital FX, and 1. And again, I'll do that for you. All right, entry markers enables triangle plots at fill prices. So you can just, it's more of just a visual thing for you to look at. Okay, another important one, equity max gain and max loss. Let's say we want a max gain of $500 and a max loss of $500. We'll make it simple. Got to make sure you understand how this works. All right. Let's say it's within its trading time and we're up $475. Well, because it has not met this number yet, because we just put in 500, it will take another trade. So let's say it takes that trade. It will not close out if it goes up $25 in profit, right? Because we're up 475. Because it will let the trade resolve itself based off of the ATM. Then when the trade has resolved itself, it will calculate this. So let's say it's a winning trade. So we're up $475. It says, okay, we can take a trade. That trade wins. Maybe we win $200. It says, okay, now we're above 500. It shuts itself off. Same thing with the losing side. Let's say we say, don't take any more trades if we're down 500. Well, if you're down $475 or 490 or 400, anything above negative 500, it will take another trade. And then when that trade resolves itself, it will come back and look at the total. So it's not as easy as say, when I get to 500, stop on either side. It doesn't work that way. It just will not initiate if it's beyond that point. Okay? An audit report here, you should not mess with that unless you're talking with us and there's a problem and we tell you to turn this on. All right? For the most part, that's all you're really going to touch. But a couple things you got to look at. The account. Now, I'm on market replay right now. So the only thing I'm going to be able to get to is replay 101. But if I were in a live setting, I would have either my live account or I would see Sim 101. Or if you set up more sim accounts, Sim 102 or 201, whatever it may be, okay? You have to tell it which one you want to go into. Now, we've had a problem with previous auto trading programs where the customer thought they're ready to trade live, and on their dome, they turn their live account on. Well, then it never placed any trades for them. You have to come in here and click your live account, or it's not going to trade it, all right? So everything else in here you do not need to mess with. These are just settings that we use, programming, things like that. You don't even have to mess with any of it. In fact, there's not much you have to play with. This is the whole purpose of this was to be simple, be easy. All you got to do is set up what you want as far as your profit and loss. I actually keep them set for 0 because the way we trade to 6E, we only take 2 trades anyways. And again, we'll cover that in the next video. So all you really have to do is, do you want the alerts on or off? Change the times, and you're done. You can enable it, click OK, and it's ready to go. So let me show you how fast this really is. Let me take this off. Now it's gone. I come in the morning or the first time, click Strategies, select it, turn my alerts on, and I'm done, just like that. Okay, but let's really quick start going into an ATM here. Let me grab my Ninja Dome here. Okay, here it is. And let's start setting up our dome. Now, this is the way we do it, and we'll cover this in the next video. Again, you're free to do it any way you want. The big thing is the proper naming. So let's go for 3 contracts, and let me do custom. I'm going to set 3 different targets, and quantity 111. And the way we like to do it is we're going to put a 6-tick stop loss across the board. And all 3 of our targets are going to have are going to go to break even after 4 ticks. So let me go in here and put my profit target as 4. I'm going to do 6 here, and I'm going to do 0. And what that means is the first target, its profit target is 4 ticks. Second target, its profit is 6 ticks. And the third, it doesn't have a profit target. It will keep going until the trailing stop takes it out of the trade. So we're going to break this down a bit more and go into strategies and go to custom. All right, and again, this is how we do it based off the 6E results we post on our blog. You do not have to do it this way. You're free to do it however you wish to do it. All right. So our first contract, our first target set of contracts, our profit ticker is 4. Then it's the auto break even kicks in. That's all we do for this. So what this means is once it goes up to 4 ticks, let's say we jump in at 29, 1, 2, 3, 4 up here, it takes the stop loss up to break even. So if we do not get filled in on the 4 tick, it'll come back down and we'll break even on the trade. On the next one, we do it a little bit different. We still use to break even after 4 ticks, but then we put in the numbers 416 over here. And what this means is when the trade goes 6 ticks in the money, take the stop loss 6 ticks behind it, and take it up tick for tick, tick for tick. As it moves up with it. But because we only have a 6 tick profit, it won't go any further than 6 ticks anyways. Okay. And again, the support videos that is offered at NinjaTrader, you can learn a lot more about trailing stops. If you don't want to do it our way, you want to learn more about trailing stops, they've got a lot of content on that as well. And for this one, we do 418. And we go auto break even. So same thing really. Once the market goes 8 ticks in the money, it takes a stop loss 4 ticks below it, and every time it goes up a tick, the market, our stop goes up with it, tick for tick for tick for tick, until it eventually gets stopped out because we have 0 here. So if we were to put 15 for some arbitrary number, once it gets to 8 ticks, it'll go 4 ticks behind us, and as it goes up a tick, our stop goes up a tick until it either comes down and stops us out, or it hits 15 or whatever number is here. In this case, we have 0. All right, so that's how we set up our ATM. Now what's important is to name it exactly what's listed in here. And remember, you can change it. If you want to use Dave 1 as your ATM, that's fine, but it's going to have to say Dave 1 in here. Easiest for us is to name it what we already have programmed in. So I'm going to right click, manage ATM strategy template, and I'm going to name it ETS, capital E, case sensitive, don't forget that, EuroFX1. And now it's in. So now when a strategy goes to trade, it's going to look for this ATM strategy. And you'll see we've got placeholders for FX1, FX2, FX3, FX4, but you're free to change the names of those as you want. As long as what's in here matches what's over here, you're good to go. All right, so that's it for this video. We've discussed the ATMs, very important part. Let's discuss a couple more quick things before we go. Let's talk about these actual buttons and what they do. All right. Strategy on. When you toggle this off, like it is right now, any open trade is closed at the market and any outstanding order is canceled. Entry on. When this button is toggled off, no new trades will be initiated. However, it has no effect on any open pending orders. And cancel close, if you want to close a position or any open order, this is how you do it. So in fact, let me just show you what it looks like when it's turned on. Got my market replay data. Let me just press play and we'll kind of speed it up here. And now you can see the strategies turned on. I could very easily enable it myself if I want to. And if it gets a trade, it will now place a trade for you. It will do it all for you. In fact, let me just do a quick one. Let me fast forward this really fast. And we'll see if we can catch a quick trade. Just so you can see it work. There it goes. All right, so now it's got your order placed. So you can't see that there. And based off the ATM, it's going to do exactly what we told it to do down here. All right. And that's all there is to it. Now, if you want to close it out, remember what I said. If we turn the strategy off, it's going to close any trade in any open order. If I turn entry off after I'm in a position, it will let that position go, but it won't take any new trades. Or if I just want to cancel and close it all, I can just press that button right there and it's done. And that's all there's to it. So that's how we set it up. In the next video, we're going to go right into our rules for the 6E and how we trade it every day. So any questions, feel free to get in touch. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.